And we're live. Welcome back to the Stitchcounting Podcast. Or if you're a new viewer, welcome to the Stitchcounting Podcast. You are. I don't know what I was gonna say, and that was kind of weird. But yes, welcome to the Stitchcounting Podcast. I'm Alex, from Alex Creates. All my links are down below. I don't really like saying them. They're pretty much all the same thing. But all my links are down below. You can find me on Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, Instagram. Anyways, so the last episode I made was in January or February. So about 2 months. And a lot of things have happened. I've had death. I've had a breakup. I've had a breakdown. I've gone through depression, and you never really get over depression, but it gets better with time. So something like I've picked up was that I got like depressed, but instead of it lasting a whole month, it lasted like 30 minutes, and I knew how to pick myself up, which is something like that's really good. I'm proud of. My dad out of nowhere. This was this week, I think it was. No, last week. Yes, last week, like Friday or Thursday. Today's what, Tuesday, March 17th. The day I get my hay and my pellets for my rabbits. Which is why I know what day it is. I'm not in school anymore. I don't really pay attention to the days of the week or the days of the month. My dad, I don't know where he came to my house. So my parents have been separated since I was in third grade. This is about to be my full year out of high school. And I haven't been held back, so I'm 18. I don't know how old are you when you're in third grade, but whatever. They've been separated since then, and now recently he's like, even though when they were together, he wasn't really part of much of our life in that way. He was just like our father figure, but wasn't really close to us, if that makes sense. He worked a lot. And when he got home, he just wanted to relax and watch TV, which is understandable. But as a father, that's not like what you should be doing. But anyways, and now like that we're getting older, and that he has another son. I'm saying we, me and my sister. Like she's my full sister, but I also have another half sister on his side and a half brother. And my half brother, who's older than me, he's like 30 something, I think. Doesn't really contact that side of the family, and he doesn't want that to happen to us, is what I'm thinking has happened, which is what I think he's trying to prevent. So he's like trying to reach out to us, and it's something like really weird, because we've never really seen that side of him. So he's trying to socialize with us and be with us, and we just gotten so used to him not being with us that now he's trying to is like weird and awkward. But yeah, he came last week to my house. I was actually carding up this while he was here, which I'll show in a minute. It was from Rogan, so I was carding and separating the colors to Spinnet Navajo, so the colors stay together. And he brings up my sexuality, and he goes, "Whatever you are sexually, I'm okay with. I respect it." I just laughed. Because the last time he ever mentioned anything about my sexuality was around 9th or 10th grade in high school. I was over at his house, just laying down in bed watching TV, and he told me I had to be outside looking for girls and blah, blah, blah. And at the end, the conversation was just like, we ended off on bad terms, and he pretty much said if he ever found out that he had a gay son, he would have to kill himself. So instead of that ever being like on my mind, or that guilt being on me, I just like kept it to myself. Like, all right, you don't really have to know anything because you aren't even that important to me, anyways. But I never really tried to hide my sexuality. I'm not gay. I'm pansexual, but I'm still not straight, which is what I assume he wanted me to be. Anyways, that's the most recent thing. Then early February, my like I like to call her my adoptive grandmother. She isn't really, we're not really blood related, but she seen me grow up since I was little. When I was maybe a couple months old, or not a couple years old, I would go to her house and just like sit there with my toys and watch TV in her living room. Um, as she was already an older lady, with like no kids around. I'll just go to her house. And I can actually show you a couple things from her. So just wait a second. Okay, I'm back. This was actually a hat I made for her when I first started crocheting, and it's humongous. Um, like it fits my head, and there's still some space with hair and all. But she had a pretty big head, and she also had a lot of hair. Um, and as Dominicans, we have thick hair. She didn't really do much treatment to her hair. As she was getting older, she just left it natural for the most part. This is one of her mugs. I believe she got it from the Dominican Republic. They're enamel, and that was me hitting her on my ring. Um, and like, I really love it. I love this mug. Just because it was from her, and it just reminds me of her. And it's like a nice heirloom, hand-me-down family mug. What was I saying? She passed away early February. She was 89, 88. I forget how old she actually was. They never really said her age. But I remember because of the funeral or whatever, but that was really important to me how old she was. But yeah, I took that really hard. Like that hit me really hard. I wasn't really expecting it. She was doing pretty good. Like she was like her diabetes was progressing and she was already a double amputee, but I don't know, it was kind of like all of a sudden something happened with her stomach. Or what was it? An intestinal stroke, I think it was they called it. But what hit me the most was that like I didn't make her a cake for her this. I didn't make her a cake I didn't make her a cake this year for her birthday. Her birthday's on Three Kings Day. And I didn't visit her that much. Just like I was getting older, I didn't really like going over there. So like, cause she lived where my father lives, so I just that side of the family I don't really communicate much with. And sadly, she got affected by that. Like I didn't see her that much. And I knew she understood it. She didn't really treat me any different because of that. But what hit me is like when I went to the hospital and I saw her in the emergency room in the hospital bed, like she was pretty much dead. Like what was keeping her alive was the machine, and that really like hit me. But yeah, that's what's happened. I was supposed to apply in February for college. My portfolio wasn't finished. So I'll be applying next. I think it's somewhere in the fall I'll be applying in the fall for spring of 2016. Fingers crossed. End of story. I have to do it. I'm tired of like being at home doing nothing, being like a housewife. One more minute of personal stuff, and then I'm gonna do some knitting stuff. What else? I ended up breaking up with my boyfriend. It was kind of like things started to change, and for me, it wasn't a relationship anymore. It was more like sexual, and I didn't want it to be that way because it shouldn't be that way. Like the connection we had, we just didn't have much in common, so we just had to end. What else is there for personal life? Personal things. I don't know. I'm gonna build my rabbits a cage soon. A 3-story cage. Or 3-level cage. I don't know what else is to say about personal. Oh, personal, I might be getting a job soon. Not gonna say yet where. But it might be. It's yarn related. But we're gonna leave it at that. Interviews this Friday, so next week or the week after that, depending if I decide to do a weekly or bi-weekly podcast, I'll tell everyone about that. Yeah, I'm not sure what else. I feel like there was more things to talk about, but I kind of said most of it, I think. I'm trying to make this bigger to see myself some more. Over there, you can actually see my little rack that I got off Amazon. There's some I can never say it, but I think it's called Coatswold. Coatswold? Whatever. It's some loft type of sheep's fleece. And the top I actually washed my Angora fiber for my rabbits, and some of it is pretty much felted. But I've been able to pick it off. I'm not going to be actually doing much with it. I'm sending it to my farmer friend Lindsay from Illinois, and she's gonna make it into bats. And I might end up spinning it. I'm not sure how the trade might work. I might end up spinning it. She might end up selling it. I don't know. Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna give me a little show notes intro, and I talked about like 2 months, and I'm gonna talk about finished objects, finished things. I'm gonna start off with my ombre beanies. Here, so I added 2 new colors, or actually this might be, I actually have one already, this one. I'm adding these 2, some neutral colors. When I went to Vogue Knitting, I had this lady come up to me, ask me if I had more neutral colors. I didn't really think about that, because I wanted to do more bold, vibrant colors to my hats, but I didn't think about other people that might want it, that might want dull, like more neutral colors. So yeah, boom. Added these 2, silver and chestnut, and chartreuse, and my marigold or Taino gold or Aztec gold, whatever. I'm always ping pong between the names for this one. So I made these 4 beautiful hats. Well, this one is actually old. I already had this for over a year. Maybe a little bit less than a year, actually. But it actually fits me. This was my size. But now that I'm growing out my hair, I can't really wear regular beanies. They look really weird on me. I look like I have a mushroom head. So I have to wear slouchy beanies for the most part, because everything just looks, my head looks bigger than what it really needs to look like. I'm not sure which one is the one that's my size. Might be this one. I don't know. It's not this one. Whatever. Let's try one on and see what happens. Like with one of these, with my commuter beanies, it just fits me a lot better. As compared to these. So, yeah. And now my hair looks crazy. But whatever. It always looks crazy. This is finished. I'm actually gonna hop around my little list. But that's just what I do. I also dyed these 3 colors. I'll be going to the shop soon. And they coordinate with the hats I just showed you, of course. But these are just like for display for when I go to fairs, to take pictures off on my Etsy shop, which I might be moving soon, but I'm not sure. Just feel like I need a stable job to support Alex Creates. I need steady income to go and be on my own in a way. Whatever. If that makes any sense. It makes sense to me when I'm saying it. Whatever. I found a yarn base I liked. For the most part, these hats are worked with, let me see if I have a good example. Or if it shows up, is what I'm trying to say. These are 2 strands of worsted weight yarn, right? And that's what this is dyed on. I take 4-ounce skeins, and then I just wind them together, and that's how I dye them. But now I found that where I buy the yarn from, they also have bulky weight yarn. Like I knew they had bulky weight yarn, I'd tried this before, which is a single ply they have. But I feel like the dye goes way, way too fast into this. It absorbs it too quick. And it doesn't really have the effect I'm looking for. So this is their 3-ply bulky weight, and this did exactly what I wanted to do. It picked it up all the way almost up to the end, but it was like speckled in some parts. What? He's peeing? Bleeding from where? Um, finished object. All right, so this is the other one, another finished object. This is a nice cowl. It's called my Vendetta cowl. It's hand spun, all of it hand spun. The brown is hand spun 2-ply Corriedale, and the colored ribbing is a loop bullseye bump, a loop bullseye bump, and it's merino, nylon, and Angelina, I believe. You could wear it like this, and you could wear it like this, or you could wear it like this, or you could fold it inside like so, and put it on like this, or the other way, right? Make it a little bit chokier, whatever. I'm thinking of writing up this pattern. It's super simple though, so if you have any crochet background, you should be able to pick it up without really reading a pattern. But some people don't. Anyways, I'm thinking of writing it up. Might sell it, might be free. Not sure. Not entirely sure at all if I'm even gonna do any of that. But yeah, that's that. Is there an issue? I have this beanie made from my from yarn or from wool from a trade I did with a farmer. I forgot what state she's from. But she wanted her sheep's wool, which was like mixed breed. I think she uses for meat or something. Probably is for meat actually. She wanted sport weight yarn, and my portion I ended up spinning it bulky. And I had it in my shop, and I had it at Vogue Knitting. A lot of people didn't really buy from it. People were interested in it, but when they touched it, they didn't really like it because it's not as soft as the rest, which I understand. So I'm gonna be knitting some hats from it, and they'll be for sale when winter comes back. And I'll probably be over dyeing these with natural dyes. I think turmeric and coffee for now. I'm also thinking about indigo, but indigo, I can't really get it. It's not really accessible to me that way. Like, I want stuff to be kind of local, so I might have to order it online or something, which isn't the end of the world, but when I think natural dye, I think like, hey, I grew it in my garden, or I picked it out in the park, or I got it out of my kitchen, I got it at the market. Anyways, or I might even do, I know black beans do glue, so I might do that. So I just know when you over dye natural colored, like lighter colored wool, you end up with a heather effect, which is kind of cool. So I have a bunch. I have like 2 more of these little cakes to make. I think that's it for, and I have my commuter beanies here, which these sell well for me. But they're just made out of like inexpensive acrylic wool blend from like Michaels and Line Brand, and yeah, they sell well. So I'm just trying to make sure that I have enough inventory when winter comes. So I also have like a good representation on my shop online of what I'm actually capable of doing and what I could offer to people or shops and blah blah. So these are a couple more of these colors. And I actually like that it's picking it up different on camera than, like, sometimes I see these two the same, but they're 2 different shades of gray. This is more like a steel, it's more of a charcoal. Maybe the other way around, whatever. But yes, boom, more colors of these. Finished objects. Now what's off the wheel? So I'm gonna show you this big tray that I finished. I'm thinking, is it the biggest? Might be the biggest I've done. Not sure. Actually, I think it's whatever. Might have been the biggest. Not sure. I have 2 more skeins that you might see them. Yeah, they're hanging right there. Just a little bit dry. I finished those last night. Yesterday night. It's weird. But boom, This is all from my friend Lindsay that I just mentioned, from a friend off Facebook. This has Shetland, this has Surrey, this has soy silk, this has bamboo, this has Angelina, this has regular silk. It's all worsted weight skeins. I'll have 4 of these in my shop. And the rest will be going to her. And I'll be keeping 1 for myself that I might be doing a giveaway on my Tumblr for my followers there. But yeah, I really like this. Something that was kind of new to me, with her at least, with that farmer. I've traded with her maybe like 3 or 4 times. Usually with her, I only do trades from roving or bats. She sends her fiber to be spun or to be processed at a mill, and then she carves a lot of herself too. But this time it was raw Shetland, raw Surrey, and then bamboo top, soy top, and soy top. Hello. It's because there's 2 soys. Soy silk and then, there's soy silk and then there's regular silk. That's what I'm trying to say. Oops. But yeah, I spun 12 skeins of these. About 40 ounces. And it's beautiful. I'm calling these Camp Jaha from the 100 series on CW. It's also on Netflix. Just saying. Throwing that out there. I just like the way that turned out, and it's very satisfying to see so much yarn finished that you processed yourself. This is a trade I did before this, which was an Icelandic cross. I think it was Icelandic, Romney, Border Leicester. I don't know, but it was. The wool was this color, right? Like kind of like cream colored in a way, off gray, and then I kettle dyed it, kind of like speckled in a way, or spot dyed with a low immersion. And I got all these crazy colors, and I really like it. So that's what I have to show you off the wheel. I have 2 more actually. Or more than 2. This is from Nestle Fiber. I bought a big bat from her, or she calls them bat kits or spinning kits, because it's bats and then it's a handful of locks, some feathers, and she also sends you some top. She sent me some silk top. I added some eyelash yarn right here. I lock spun some curls. I'm not sure what else I did. I did a bunch of stuff with this, but it's gonna be a hat. It's gonna be a beanie like those, wherever I put them. It's gonna be a beanie like this, but it's not gonna be crocheted. Those are crocheted. I'm probably end up garter stitch knitting it across, and then Kitchener stitching it on the side, which I'm just scared of that I might not have enough yardage for this. This was only 130 yards. So I have another project in mind, but I'm going to kind of marinate on this because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, because I want the color change to happen vertically, not horizontally. I'm not going to like it that way, horizontally. It's going to look weird with like the stitches will be going this way, but the color change will be happening this way. I don't really tend to like that a lot, which is why I don't really want to make socks, because most of them are self-striping, or they will pool, color pooling, I think that's what it's called, a way I wouldn't like. Anyways, yes, so I spun that this was from that big old bat. It had locks and blah blah, and this is also the same thing, but I carded some of her silk noils into it, because she also added silk noils, I think it was. So this is a lot smoother. This is 2 ply. It's kind of like an Aran weight to bulky actually, while this one's like a worsted to bulky. But yeah, this will be some hats. This might end up in my shop. I haven't decided yet. Then I spun this from what actually was that? Oh, because I finished it last night. Um, what's her name? You and Me. She's based in Texas. Her name is Ali. I forgot her last name. From one of her dyed merino tops, and I Navajo plied it. It's pretty cool. I love it. I'm just trying to stay away from my comfort zone color wise, which is pretty much blues and greens. Obviously my hair, you can see this blue and green. Um, to add more variety to my shop and to offer different things to like my clients or my customers that I already have. Yeah, boom. That's what's off the wheel. This is what's out of the dye pot. Apart from what's drying over there, which is I think I said that already, but it's sheep's wool, which I forget the breed. It's pronounced. I forget how it's pronounced, but it's colt's wool. I want to say. I'll write it out. I just can't pronounce crap a lot of the time. Oh, but it's probably gonna be backwards. Actually, I'm sure it's gonna be backwards. It is backwards. I'm not gonna. I tried. Anyways, what's out the dye pot? I have some of those locks there. And now I will be. This is like one of my goals this year, is to start lots of projects from raw wool, which I tend to do a lot, but not just spin it from raw and then boom, I call it a day, but get it from raw, dye it, think of a plan, design it in my head, like do a different process, think about it more, right? So this is 4 ounces bundles, right? I'm calling this it's alpaca, and designed it out of Once Upon a Time's character Ursula. I got the idea from them. Hold on, that is my hair. Okay, I'm back. My rabbit's hay came in, and the little hungry hippos right now, they haven't had hay for like 2 days because I prefer to buy it online than buy it in person. It's cheaper and better quality. Anyways, I'm not sure how far I was with showing you this, but this is Ursula, based off the Once Upon a Time series, but the colors were inspired from, or the colors were taken from a drawing that I got off Google, which I haven't really found the source of, which is kind of bad, but it's like this curvy Ursula drawing, or what is it? Illustration. This curvy Ursula illustration. Yeah, whatever. So there's a bunch of this on alpaca. There should be some silver in it. There's gonna be some black in it. There's gonna be some emerald, which doesn't really look emerald. It looks more like a Kelly green, with an amazing true fire red, with some lilac and some purple. And the dye I have actually, this is like the 3rd time it's done this to me, but phew! My rabbit's hay. It's the 3rd time it's done this to me. It divides itself. My goodness, the dye actually separates. So you can actually see some of the pink in it and the darker purple. But whatever. I have 2 4-ounce bundles. I think it's actually 5 ounces. One I'll be spinning with Angelina, the other one I'll be spinning alone, and the one with Angelina will be 2-ply, the one alone will be single-ply, like a fat single. Oh my goodness. Trying to do this quick, but I'm like dying right now. My work's in progress. I have another one of these beanies. These. I'm knitting it. Yes. Where is it? I have another cowl. It's using Dirty and Chili's hand-dyed yarn. Boom, boom. And this is my handspun merino, bamboo, nylon, panda blend, whatever. Which actually ended up Navajo twine, which is weird to do with undyed yarn, but I did because that's just what I do. This is gonna be a lot longer than my other one, than my Vendetta. It's gonna be a lot longer and a lot wider or taller. But it's gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be like ribbing right here with some spaces in between, then another block of color. And here's the back of it. That's it for my works in progress. This is my future projects. I have another one of Lindsay's bats that I spun up. This one reminds me of like chocolate with like fruits in it or something. This is thread plied, metallic thread plied. Somewhat bulky, but there's also a lot of spots that are like super thin. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna, like what needle I'm gonna use. I'm thinking my US 10s, but not really sure. I think that's it for this episode because I'm like dying right now because of my rabbit's hay. I tried to buy. I usually buy second cut hay, which is a lot softer and has less seed heads. Or flower heads, I think is what they call them, but I think seed heads is like farmer wise. Anyways, this is I bought first cut and has a lot more seeds, and it's like driving me crazy right now. So that's the end of this episode. Links are below. Follow me on Ravelry, even though I don't really use it. Like my Facebook page. Follow me on Instagram. Check me out on Tumblr. I run yarnsters.tumblr.com. Check out my Etsy shop. What else is there? Comment below what you like, what you didn't like. Tell me you missed me. Or no. But yes. Kind of see my rabbit there. Her ear. That's Mimsy. She's actually looking at the hay box because it's open right there. She's thinking about hopping in, even though she has some in her litter box. Anyways, this is the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. See you next time.